month battle with cancer. Equally tragic, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer had just released a new album, Black Star, last Friday on his 69th birthday. Just the latest in his iconic body of work.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Hey, so now take things over. I could escape this feeling. It's my China girl. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Oh, I don't want the young American.
Truly a music legend, and no surprise here, celebrity tributes are pouring in on social media about Bowie, including one from my next guest, a longtime friend of Bowie's and former band leader for Kiss, Gene Simmons. He tweeted, "David Bowie, you will be sorely missed. Bowie's Changes and the Ziggy Story songs were a major influence for me." Also joining me today, Robert Risco, a celebrity portrait artist who drew this image, take a look, as a tribute to Bowie for The New Yorker. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. Really appreciate you coming on today. And Gene, I want to start with you. First off, I'm sorry about the loss of your friend. Tell us, how did he influence you?
Well, it happened early on. I mentioned this before, but in 1975, Kiss was recording at the same recording studio David was, and we didn't know each other or anything. We were certainly in awe of his talent, and we were aware of Ziggy and, all the great songs, Changes and so on. And for some reason, he was kind enough to invite us into the studio to listen to tracks of his new record. And of course, we were scared to death. So I walk in, and I'll never forget this. As I walked into the studio, he looked me straight in the eye, straight in the face, and he smiled. And I was taken aback because, again, we'd never met. And he stuck his hand out and he said, "Hello, wonderful to meet you. Unassuming, no ego. You can say lots of things about David Bowie. He was a game changer, marched to the beat of his own drums, never looked to see what anybody else was doing. You can't quite put your finger on who he is, what he's done. He completely was a unique artist, a visionary." Now, again, there are a lot of famous people who make records and are in movies and stuff like that. That ain't the same thing. The air up there is rarefied and is reserved for a few.
You see what
Icon is reserved for a few. David Bowie was a giant.
He's pointing to heaven because these guys are now against the New World Order. Look up Gene Simmons, look up David Bowie, or just type any of his songs. All of his songs were anti-New World Order. That's all I gotta say about that.
Not just you listen to his music.
I've been a Bowie fan ever since the beginning, since the 70s.
But he was saying David Bowie will go to heaven because David Bowie didn't play by the cards of Hollywood or the satanic Hollywood agenda.
I followed Bowie personally and professionally. I'm a fan of his. He's a chameleon. He inspired my own kind of wearing personalities and the kind of work I do because I have to draw people for a living. And I always saw him as the artist's artist. I always thought that he was the muse for so many creative people. I mean, there wouldn't be a Madonna, there wouldn't be, Marilyn Manson, so many people, names off the top of my head. But he, what he did, though, was he didn't out and out copy people. He took things from the culture and he recomposed it in a collage kind of way that was distinctively his style. No one else could duplicate that. It was from the heart. And it is in our dream state of consciousness, which is where all art lives.
Gene, I have to ask you, he just released his album this past Friday, Black Star. Have you listened to it? And if so, what do you think?
Yeah. Again, he continues to break the rules, especially his own rules. Everybody else is trapped. Us too. We're very aware of what the fans want. You don't want to dare make a left-hand turn or a right-hand turn. You want to go right down the middle. He never cared about that. He just says, this is what's inside of me. This is what I'm going to do because I believe in it. I think it's worth noting, and I mentioned it before, the very first lyric shows you the dignity and the greatness of the man. The very first lyric in Black Star, his new album, is, "I'm up up there, I'm in heaven.
What I tell
He
you,
was dying. He's been battling cancer for a year.
guys,
And he did it
subscribe
with
to the
dignity
channel.
and grace, and didn't use media, for the cheapness.
This
of
is
what
live.
Some of us do. It's a very, very sad.
The man was anti-fucking New World
World
Order.
off without David
He's
Bowie.
anti-Illuminati, Bilderberg, Rothschild, any of that shit, man. You heard it from Gene Simmons. I can't make the man say that. I'm not tweeting him and saying, yo, can you say this, Gene
I'll
Simmons?
tell you what the legacy is, and I'm clear about this because it's happened to me. Somewhere out there's a 15-year-old kid who's in Nebraska or Wyoming or someplace, and while he's listening to all the pop stars and the rap stars and all that stuff, he may hear All the Young Dudes by Mott the Hoople, which David wrote and produced and gave to the band. He may hear Changes, and his life will never be the same, and he'll be inspired. The thing about Bowie, the iconic nature of him, it's generational and doesn't stop with, fashion and stuff like that. He continues on. His music is his legacy, and his DNA is in me, and it's going to be in the next 15-year-old kid who's going to start his own band and become great because of David Bowie.
That's a good way to sum it up. Robert, to you.
And I will agree with Gene and add to that, again, I will say he was the artist's artist, and other creative people looked to him for direction, I think. And I think that Follow Your Heart was probably something he always thought, although, we don't know. But just in creativity, he went into the unknown. There was nothing ever predictable. And I would say he would be the most unpredictable entertainer that there ever was.
Touching tribute from you both. Gene Simmons, Robert Risco, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And up next, right, dollars, but there is a catch. It comes with a tenant who can't be evicted. Wonder who that is. So